If you own a business or are trying to boost your personal brand to make more money, and you know you want to make more content, but you're not sure if you should use your laptop camera, your phone, or professional camera, or hire somebody, this video is for you. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to test my MacBook camera, my phone, and my professional setup to see if there is a noticeable difference, or if something that's not super expensive can get the job done and not having you look like a scrub when you're making your content. Now, you will hear people say, oh, the camera doesn't matter, the gear doesn't matter. And yes, but no, because at a certain point, there's diminishing returns with certain cameras. They can only look so good, or they only need to look so good for what you're doing. But there's on the other side of that, if you look like shit, people are going to think that you don't know what you're doing, or you don't care about what you're doing, or you're just not successful. If you have good looking content, people are going to know that you either care about what you do, or you have the resources, like you're successful enough to do the content the right way. One thing I want to start with is your lighting matters. Something I see a lot of people do is they will sit in a bright area of their house, which is fine, but then they have the light right behind them. If you have the light right, hold on, I'll show you. If you have a light right behind you, your camera's not going to know what to do, and it's going to have you being washed out because it's going to be trying to get this light to look somewhat normal, and this just doesn't look that good. So what I'm going to recommend is you have your light source, whether that be a window or a light that you purchase, be 45-degree angle to one side and up. That's going to be the most flattering. Let me fix this and I'll be right back. So let's start with test number one. I'm going to kick over to my MacBook. Okay, so we are here on my MacBook Pro, the front-facing camera, and it looks okay. Honestly, this camera's been pretty good. Granted, I have decent lighting, but it doesn't look as good as it does on my main camera in terms of the lighting because it's trying to balance everything out. But I think this looks okay. The one thing you don't want to do is this, like turning on the blur effect, because it looks bad. Like they're trying to make it look good, and if you have a messy background, sure, whatever. This probably doesn't look terrible. I whenever someone has this on, I think it looks pretty rough. And if they have this, when they do something like bullshit like this, don't do that. So don't put your logo up. It looks like you're doing a Zoom green screen, and this just is bad. So if you're gonna use your computer for video, I would say have nothing turned on. Use your camera. I have it set right now to look pretty good. I think there's some settings built in, but this looks okay for doing two camera stuff. Now, it does make it hard to do vertical content if you're trying to pull vertical content from this kind of frame, because your computer is usually really close. So your vertical content is going to be like just your whole face. So taking that into account, this doesn't look too bad. So now let's go kick over to the phone. Okay, so now we are on the front-facing camera of my iPhone, and I'm not upset with how this looks. I think it looks okay. Granted, I have good lighting. That's going to be the key to stuff, because as soon as you turn around, it looks bad, right? Because the camera is trying to do its best to get everything to look as good as it can, but this looks pretty rough, and I wouldn't recommend that. Now, if you swing it back over here, that's usable. Now, if we flip to the rear-facing cameras, it should look even better. Now this should look even better. I can't really see it. I'm hoping it looks okay. I'm hoping I'm in frame, but this should look pretty good and pretty usable. And if you had it set up on a tripod with proper lighting, I don't have a problem with using a phone at all. But let's click over to my other camera and see if we can notice a difference. Okay, so now we're back here at my camera. This is a Sony FX3 with a 50mm 1.4 lens on there. It's not cheap. So it really comes down to what you want out of your content. If you don't really care about how it looks, you just want to get it out there and have speed to posting, then use with whatever you have. Use your MacBook, use your computer, but I'd say honestly, the phone is probably the best thing to use for something that's really middle ground there, as long as you have the right lighting. And one thing that I really want to stress is the right audio, because if you have bad audio, people are going to notice, and people are going to watch less if it sounds like crap. So invest in a decent mic. It can be and it doesn't have to be super expensive. I got these little mics that are wireless little mics that clip on. They were like $130. They work on a phone. These will improve your audio dramatically and make your content a lot more watchable. So I hope this quick little demo of the 3 different options that people ask me about for creating content for your business has helped. If you have any questions at all, feel free to let me know in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more content, and we'll see you in the next one.